Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
And people have been a bit excited for this one. I've had a couple messages asking when the pod is going to be out. So this should come out tomorrow.
Fiending for content.
Yeah.
Nitties are out. To be fair, I was like most of you over the weekend waiting for people to drop podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
you know.
well, the results couldn't have gone much better. But what I will say is that if you are not an Arsenal fan, I can't lie, this one maybe isn't for you.
Or if you're not,
I'm never going to be telling guys not to listen to that podcast.
yeah.
If you're not an Arsenal fan, this one.
Or if you're not in any way, shape, or form interested in the Arsenal City game, you can tune this one. If you
But even if you are, the way we're going to talk about it might make you not anymore. Because look, we're going to be Arsenal heavy, and rightfully so this week. Because the Super Sunday, the 4:30 showcase game at the Emirates, Pep Guardiola versus Mikel Arteta, and Arsenal came out 5-1 winners.
It still seems crazy. Still sounds crazy.
I still can't believe that I'm saying that. And there's a lot of places to talk about, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of places to start. So for me, I'm gonna start with the guy that I have to start with, because I don't think he's got enough props from the content that I've seen elsewhere.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was going to tell you this. I was waiting for somebody to come out and really give me a 5, 10, 15 minute how incredible he was. Yeah. I know I've said some things over the past, but during this game, he was. I haven't had any of that.
Yeah, none of it. So, my man of the match in that game was Thomas Partey. Yeah. Uncle Partey.
I was gonna say we should have the title of this episode just like Uncle Partey, Uncle T.
Yeah.
Uncle came through.
Bail out. Yeah. After it went 1-1, Thomas Partey goes and scores. But look, when NBA fans and NBA pundits and whatever leave arenas, they sometimes say that they witness greatness.
That's why you pay the ticket.
Yeah, it's a very American witness greatness today. Yeah.
That's what everyone's saying.
That's all it was when they've seen Jordan or they've seen Kobe or LeBron or Luka. We'll speak
have
about
a little
Luka.
segment.
We'll speak about Luka. Kyrie, they leave, they go, we witness greatness today.
Yeah.
I left that stadium, and that's how I felt. I felt like I had just witnessed one of the greatest centre midfield performances that I've seen, whether that's in the stadium, whether that's from home. I think Thomas Partey did absolutely everything in that game. He was basically an all-action midfielder. He was progressing the ball, moving it forward. I can't remember a time where he didn't find a red shirt. Even when with his like unsuccessful passes, they still ended up at a red shirt.
They didn't control it. The red shirt didn't bring that one in.
Yeah.
Partey's put that for you on a plate. Just grab that one.
I think, it was just like, I genuinely came away from that thinking, wow, what a performance.
No, Partey was also my man of the match. And, I think the thing, we've both been big Partey people all season, come to him many times, said he's been our best midfielder, most consistent midfielder, one of our best players of the season so far, all of this kind of stuff. But I was going to say 2 days ago, it was, I can't even say turning back of the clock performance, because I do think that's semi-disrespectful. Partey's putting good performances this year.
Yeah.
But it was just like the most head and shoulders, stand above the rest performance that Partey has given us.
Yeah.
This season in the 6, or maybe in the last 2 years, and it almost makes me feel as if like football should maybe offer 6-month contracts, and I can always keep Partey, on the end of a line.
Yeah.
Bait Partey into thinking it's contract year every year, and Partey needs to prove himself.
But Partey would never.
Every season.
Partey would never.
What happens if at the end of the season we just give him 6 months and he needs to prove himself for the final 6 months?
Partey's not going to accept that. Look, we know this is contract Partey.
But contract Partey is doing exactly what you would,
and we're very comfortable.
Exactly, contract Partey is doing exactly what you would want out of contract Partey. We all know it's a contract year for Partey. I don't know. At the start of the season, I thought I wanted Partey to stay right before the season began, but I thought he could go. Partey stayed. I was happy with that, and I spent majority of the season, beginning of the season, thinking, well, this looks like we're going to offer Partey a new deal. Partey's playing very well. Yeah. And then I was like, are we going to offer Partey a new deal?
He's playing every 3 days.
Yeah, I was like, are we going to offer Partey a new deal? Zubimendi rumors have come out and all this kind of stuff. Seems like maybe Mikel's made his mind up, and I was accepting the fact that both Jorginho and Partey will go. But again, to come full circle, this performance, this contract Partey run that he's on, I don't know. It might
Give
just
him a 3-year
it might just be worth it, man. It might just be worth it.
Well,
If
it
he
looks
can
like
do what he's done-
Jorginho's going in the summer.
If Partey can do what he's done yesterday, 2 days ago, it doesn't even need to be every week next season. It could be one every 3 weeks.
He's not going to do what he did on Sunday.
Okay.
We will never see that from Partey again.
If Partey can hit, and I agree, if Partey can hit a level, maybe not that level, because as
even
I said,
where he's been at for most of the season.
Where he's been at for most of the season. Because yesterday or 2 days ago, he was hands and shoulders, heads and shoulders
nuts.
above everybody else. Every good action, every one of the 5 goals that we scored, there's an impeccable parking sequence in there. Partey's done something elite in that 5-goal sequence.
He's beating the press with 1 or 2 touches.
Literally.
When he flicks it over Kovacic, when he plays through Martinelli.
I'm shocked to see that other people aren't going to give him the praise that he deserves, because I thought, man, and I know Declan Rice had a good game and everybody had a good game. There's no point listing players. Everybody had a good game, but Partey was brilliant. And I do think that the Partey Rice pivot balance, it's like as good as it can get for Arsenal. I do feel as if like every other midfield combination balance, Jorginho and him, or Marino and him, or if Partey and Rice are fit, please play Partey and Rice. They're our best midfield, double pivot. They're our best midfield balance. There's no point trying to discuss anything else. But yeah, man, he was phenomenal, man. He was phenomenal, and there wasn't even, as we were saying, there wasn't even the like 5-minute lapse of concentration where Partey gets overrun. Partey plays a risky ball. Partey doesn't keep hold of that one.
Arsenal fans will be well aware of 22-23 Thomas Partey, and who that guy was. That guy I saw on Sunday might have been better than that 22-23 Partey.
You're saying he was the apex predator?
Yeah. Shout out Tariq. Shout out Tariq St. Patrick. But Partey he completely dominated that midfield. I genuinely don't think it would have mattered if Rodri was on that Man City team, if Zidane was on that Man City team, if Iniesta was on that Man City team. Partey was just going to be the best midfielder on the pitch that day. And you mentioned the pivot there, his partner Declan Rice. Now, obviously, I think from minute 1 to minute 90, Partey was brilliant. I think from Declan Rice had some good moments in the first half for sure. But I think second half he really kind of ramped it up.
I don't know if he was good all game, because in the first half he's got
the way he wins the tackles and stuff. But I think
I do agree with you.
I feel like Arsenal in the first half were just a bit too passive. And obviously everyone talks about the last half an hour of that game and 4 goals go in and whatever. But before Arsenal signed Declan Rice with the intention of closing the gap to Man City. Right, that was what that transfer window was all about. And in the 12 games before Declan Rice joined Arsenal, 12 Premier League matches against Man City, we'd lost all 12 in a row. Right?
I think they were saying 18.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. After Declan Rice signs, we're now unbeaten in 4 since signing Declan Rice. Now, the Big 6 record overall is obviously, I think that's like 17, 18 games. That can go very wholeheartedly to Mikel. Because Mikel Arteta's built that. But this Man City one that Mikel couldn't really seem to get over the hump and whatever, Declan Rice has come in and we're unbeaten. So I'm not putting that all down to him, but I think that shows you the level of the quality of the player there.
I think, man, honestly, I just think with Declan Rice, as soon as we signed him, we stopped getting overrun in midfield.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Every other performance versus City that we had before then, Pep could do I'm just going to overload because I know their midfield can't really hack it. If I get more numbers in there, more technique and more quality and a little bit Rodri's PMP or KDB's PMP or whoever it is, we can bully them. And I just think with Declan Rice in our midfield, you just can't really run past us the way you used to. You can't really take time on the ball the way you used to. You can't really 100%. Just feel comfortable the way Bernardo and all the guys, Gundo, all those guys in the past used to feel when, even decent Arsenal sides, 22-23 couldn't. The matchup wasn't there. We didn't really have the height and the physique and the power to really threaten City. And I think the difference today, the reason why we've won, or the reason why we won 5-1 over the weekend, obviously is largely down to Rice, but it's just the power and the energy that Rice brings, along with the technique. Rice is very good technically, but he set the tempo early for me in those first 20 minutes. Gundo and Gundo didn't even start, but Kovar and Bernardo Silva and Akanji and all those guys who wanted to dilly-dally with the ball. Ortega's just going to give me this one and I have time and space to turn and find my right back. Rice set that tone. There is no time. There is no space here. There is no way in which you can get easy 5-yard passes off here.
Yeah.
And I think, man, that to speak to why we've just gone over the hump with City. Well, not I say just gotten over the hump. Why we've beaten City and why previously we couldn't get over the hump. I also do think there is an element of like the mentality thing, because I do feel as if like a lot of Arsenal teams in the past, obviously we'd lost to City so many times in a row, there was this inferiority complex. And since we've signed Rice, little by little it's ebbed away. Obviously we beat them last year at home, we drew with them last year away, and everybody kept on saying you should have gone to win, you should have gone to win, you should have gone to win, type thing. And then we drew 2-2 earlier this season
in a game that we actually did go to win.
And
the ref,
I just think that there was a little bit of mentality. Like City fans, I think were nervous coming into the game.
Yeah, on Sunday.
But I think Arsenal fans were nervous. Coming into the game, I was definitely nervous, thinking it might be a draw. If City get one and they start to do what they do to us, things could look a little bit differently. So I think I give credit to Rice for that as well. Is the mentality change and shift of like, we're not just going to be, and as I say, it's not all on Rice, but he easily plays like it is. We're just going to no longer accept the fact that these guys are going to push us around the bully us, so we are as good as them. I feel like once we got Rice, we started to feel as if we are as good as them. I'm not just going to accept that you're just going to move that and ping that one, and
and in those big games, well, I mean, to be fair, in any game really, because he's that consistent, but in particular in the big games, I just can't remember Rice having a bad performance.
Yeah, but I do think he
like even the Chelsea game earlier this year at Stamford Bridge, when he had the broken toe.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
That was probably one of his better performances in the first.
I was also thinking about the levels, as you were saying about the broken toe. Like Rice has spoken about his tiredness and fatigue and all the stuff coming after the Euros or the World Cup, whatever tournament it was in the summer. And then he had the broken toe, and it's like there was definitely points in the season where Rice could maybe only give us a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 performance, but even still to be able with a broken toe, I need to play Chelsea. It's a big game. You can't lose that one.
We raise it.
It's been, and now the Rice that we're getting, we know that Rice, when he's fully fit, is capable of scoring 90th minute winners. Is capable of, world these great corners, all the rest. But
that ball out to Ethan.
It seems like even at his lowest, he's a 7.
You
know, and that speaks to the quality of the player.
Yeah, and that seems to be common for a lot of our guys. Now, we always used to say that about Ben White.
Right?
Gabriel's hit that level. Even Saliba, when Saliba makes a mistake, he's still usually a 6, 7.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. I'm not gonna lie.
If you take away Thomas Partey's games at right back this year, I don't think he's been below a 7.
I even think a lot of his games, apart from the Villa one, I think a lot of his games at right back, he's not been terrible.
Yeah, he's been all right. Yeah, but the Villa one is so bad. But no Thomas Partey slander today. Look, we also have to talk about it. Yeah, Hale End, stand up. Right, enough of Cobham. We're done with Cobham. There's a new academy in town now.
Sober realty. Is that sober realty? Stand up.
Cody, sober realty. Hale End, stand up, because 2 guys. But firstly, we have to talk about Miles Lewis-Skelly at the age of 18 to play like that against the champions. Only deserves credit. He was up against Phil Foden. He had Phil Foden pocketed, and then dunked an unbelievable goal past Stefan Ortega. I'm still picturing it now. I'm still celebrating it now. I'll be celebrating that goal for a
very, very long time. The fact that that's his first one, first ever senior goal
off his right foot, posting in.
Come on, man, it's nuts.
It was unbelievable. And you've been saying for a while that you want to see Miles Lewis-Skelly in this Man City game.
I've been saying for weeks that I wanted to see. It was for different reasons. To be fair, I did say that I think Miles Lewis-Skelly is a goal threat, but I didn't really think it was going to be a goal threat versus City.
Yeah,
but I wanted to see Miles Lewis-Skelly in this game because obviously the way he's been playing for the past couple of weeks has been at a very good level. Yeah, Arteta's not having him in there just because we've got players injured and, you know, he likes the look of him and all this kind of stuff. Arteta's playing him because Arteta thinks he's at the level. Or he's done enough to be at the level.
100%.
Yeah. And so I wanted to see him versus City because I thought he could crunch, lock up, wallop Savinho or whoever was going to play on that right side. And I thought that would have been...
Which is very high praise.
Exactly.
Like, the guy's probably started... I can count on one hand maybe how many Premier League games he started.
Exactly. Whether if it was Marmoush, whoever it was going to be. And also the good thing about Miles Lewis-Skelly, and it comes back to coming through the academy, Miles Lewis-Skelly knows exactly what time it is when it's like any game, but in particular these big games. You saw his like
the
North London derby. It's like, even though he got sent off in the Wolves game, I don't know, the approach to the North London derby game and to the Wolves game, Miles Lewis-Skelly, he's on it in the Wolves game, he wants things and all this kind of stuff, but in the North London derby, it's like, you're not going past me here. Exactly. That ball's not coming off for you. That loose pass, I'm onto that loose pass.
100%.
You know, so, and I love that. I love that as an Arsenal fan when...
and I think a lot of that, just to touch on that quickly, comes from, like you say, the North London derby. Nobody needs to tell really any Arsenal player about it, in particular Miles Lewis-Skelly, because he's been through the academy. Yeah, the Man City one's kind of been built up, but he has the best person next to him, right?
Yeah.
If anyone needs to get amped for that game, you probably have a 5-minute conversation with Gabriel the way he was amped for it, right? And Miles Lewis-Skelly understands what it means.
I also think that Miles Lewis-Skelly coming through the academy, like, he would have been 11 maybe. You know, we've just spoken about losing to City for the last 12 Premier League fixtures. So he would have spent a lot of his childhood, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, just watching Arsenal get drilled by City week after week after week. Like the North London derby thing where you're saying you don't need to tell Arsenal fans or Arsenal players to get up for the North London derby. Guys that have come through the academy, you know, Ethan Lewis-Skelly, Saka, all of this kind of stuff. I think the way us Arsenal fans, the way you Arsenal fans who are listening to this have the clubs that you hate for what they've done to us, be it Brighton, be it Villa, be it Newcastle, be it City, obviously, you know, Chelsea, all this kind of stuff, is the same way Miles Lewis-Skelly will be hating on these clubs. It's the same way Ethan will be hating on these clubs. Up until this season, I can't say they've been fans like how we've been fans, but they've been... they're
the closest thing to an Arsenal fan.
Exactly. In many respects, they are fans 100%. The way we've been fans, man. So, and I also wanted to say about the academy thing.
And they've probably been around the first team since we've been in these titles.
They've seen what these losses have done to first teams and done to players, and they themselves, man, trying to speak to other academy players or go to school or whatever it is, they're still getting clowned the way we would have gotten clowned for getting beaten by Man United. You know? So they have that in them. And to see Lewis-Skelly produce that moment, to produce his first goal, to be beefing Haaland, to not step down, not take a step backwards kind of stuff. Obviously, it just feels too good. But I also wanted to say on the academy, I don't know, it's interesting because we're going to get into Ethan later, but I feel as if, as an Arsenal fan, I've never really been in a situation or a period of time like this where we're legitimately producing high-quality, talented players. And we've always had a good academy from a long time, but I felt like every once in a while, we would produce a good player.
Yeah.
We would have Wilshere, and then there wouldn't be anything for
before
a while.
Wilshere, there was Cesc, if you can count Cesc, and before Cesc, Ashley Cole.
But even now, that's like 5 years almost between each player.
Exactly. That's what I think, and then I can't really remember too many.
Because there's a lot of guys that came from young, but Theo was from Southampton and all this kind of stuff. So I'm talking about like legitimately produced through and through Arsenal's academy. It just feels as if we've hit almost a golden age. Big Purr is in there and he's doing things and he's saying things, and now Smith Rowe and Saka and Nelson and
even like Ox and Ramsey, they were from other places, and
you feel me? So it's interesting because obviously Arsenal, we do kind of have a reputation of bringing through young talent and developing people into players. Like, we're not really been the club to just buy ready-made all the time. It's not like we're Chelsea or anything like that, But I think it's interesting that this sort of period that we're in now, we've seen as many talented through and through Hale End Academy players go on to have successful careers in other clubs or be good enough to play for Arsenal. It feels weird to have this conveyor belt of talent.
Well, I made the joke at the beginning. I don't think any academy is really gonna achieve what Cobham has achieved. We have conversations about how many Chelsea players there are, not just Premier League, Serie A,
just whatever.
It's nuts. It's nuts. The actual like quantity of players that they have there, but it is becoming a bit like, okay, yo, we've got some serious guys, not only here but around the league that have come from Hale End.
Exactly.
You even look at guys like Joe Willock at Newcastle, which was a couple of years ago.
Good Premier League career.
Yeah, Emile Smith Rowe. I will say Eddie, but
we'll hold that one.
We'll see. Reece. Right? Obviously, Ethan, Miles, Saka coming through. But Miles Lewis-Skelly goes and does a celebration. After he scores his goal, he sits down in I think Ian Wright said he's zen. Someone said he's zen.
I haven't seen any Ian Wright post-match.
He's, for those who don't know, but if you're watching this, you probably do know.
Yeah,
he's mimicking Haaland's celebration. And in the first game, Erling Haaland said to Miles Lewis-Skelly, "Who the fuck are you?" And he fucking knows now.
I don't even understand.
Miles Lewis-Skelly just dunked it on him.
I don't even understand I don't understand the like hate towards this. I hate the whole like, I can't believe Lewis-Skelly would do this. I can't. Yeah. What has he done? What has he done in the game to do this? As you've just said, there's a backstory behind. It's not come out of nowhere.
Exactly. That's what everyone, even Gabriel, screaming in his face. Gary Neville was like, "Oh, Gabriel, I don't like that." And what, like, it's like everyone's forgetting what Haaland did in the first game. Like, Haaland didn't throw the ball. At least Gabriel had the bollocks to go and do it to his face, man to man, rather than do something behind his back.
I also want to praise Lewis-Skelly's composure.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man. If I've just wrapped one off my right foot and Ortega's got a hand to it, but it's hit the post and it's gone in, and that's my first senior goal, I don't even know how I would, from a fan's perspective, be able to keep myself together.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but they looked at it a bit on MNF, yeah. And Lewis-Skelly does the Haaland celebration. That goes on for a while. Declan Rice then pulls him up. Then Lewis-Skelly kind of goes over to the fan, doing a second celebration. And I hear it, yeah. But then they zoom in on Declan Rice, yeah, and Declan Rice is screaming at Lewis-Skelly to get back in position.
Yeah.
Get back into left back and then
switch on.
Yeah. He's telling Lewis-Skelly, "Come on, switch on," which is perfect, right? That's what you need. Like, I fully expect Lewis-Skelly to go mad.
I'm like shirt off, corner flag, screaming.
Yeah. So sub me off now.
We are Arsenal, exactly.
In my man, games one.
We are Gunners. Something, you know, like,
he's an Arsenal fan on the pitch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, but that's where Declan Rice is so good in that situation.
Like, I'm middle fingers. Yeah. I'm shushing people. I'm like
there's a Man City bench.
Yeah.
But no, that's where the difference between having a Declan Rice in there compared to
whoever who lets that slide.
Francis Coquelin. He's not going to say anything. Yeah,
who's enjoying that. Yeah.
Declan Rice is telling him, "Come on, look, there's still a game here to be won." And then Ethan Nwaneri, Hale End stands up again.
No, come on, we can't skip over Kai. Oh, but we're still on the Hale End thing. Okay, I get it.
10 minutes. We're definitely not skipping Kai.
I've got a story about Kai.
But Hale End stands up again, 10-minute cameo off the bench. And we were having a debate about it on Sunday after the game. And now that I've seen it back, it probably is the best goal, right? Lewis-Skelly's goal is my favourite moment.
Yeah, we've got the subtitles, we've got the subdivisions. And Partey is the most important.
Yeah, 100%, all of that. But after watching them back, and this is obviously, like you said, we'll get onto it, but I actually think the second best goal is Kai Havertz's goal. But
it's really good.
We'll get onto that.
It's really good.
Ethan Nwaneri probably scores the best goal in added time. And that's twice in 4 days that Ethan has scored what we like to call and describe on this podcast as an X Factor goal. Just how crazy is the talent that this kid has.
It's crazy because
the conversations he's being put in, apparently only Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen has scored more goals.
Yeah.
17.
I know.
And I think he's only 2 or 3 behind them, so he could break that record.
I know they will chop up the stats to not even make him look good because he is a good player, but I know they'll chop up the stats to put him in certain conversations. I'm seeing Lamine Yamal and all this kind of stuff. But as an Arsenal fan, for me, it's kind of like screw all that. I've watched the talent. I've watched the 90 minutes. I've watched the 50 minutes. I've watched the 10 minutes. Yeah. So I don't necessarily need the numbers to back me up on what I think about this player. because I've done the legwork. I've been watching
Yeah.
the games. It's
Yeah.
not like sometimes, obviously, if you're not an Arsenal fan or another club, you'll hear guys speak about like Mikey Moore, for example. And I'm like, okay,
Neymar.
how good is Mikey Moore? Guys are saying he's Neymar-esque and all this kind of stuff. And then as a guy that doesn't watch Tottenham week in, week out, or I do, to be honest, but like as a guy that doesn't watch as many Tottenham games, it's like you want to look at his stats. So if he's that good, what's he done then? And you're seeing 0 goals, 0 assists, 1,000 minutes. And I'm like, oh, it can't be that.
Yeah.
You know? So for me with Ethan...
Tottenham had all of their academy guys done on IF Elfsport in the Europa League on Thursday. They had 3 academy guys, which is fair play.
Which is fair play Elfsport, yeah. But for me with Ethan, man, every sentence I say or every time I like try and deep what he's doing at the age of 17 for the club is crazy. Because I also truly believe, maybe like tinfoil hat on, I truly believe that Ethan's emergence is why Arsenal haven't gone gung-ho to sign someone. Gung-ho. Yeah.
They're cutting a lot of slack for the board here.
No. The board can be killed and all of this kind of stuff, but then the line that Arteta will say in the next presser will be, Ethan feels like a new signing, and how many 17-year-olds do you know that have double-digit goals at this age, and all of this kind of stuff. And this is not to excuse Arsenal in any of their summer business.
The guy that's going to go and win us the
title. No. This is not to excuse Arsenal for any of their summer business, but I think it's just to give credence to Ethan in terms of like Arsenal fans, myself included, probably Mikel Arteta thought that we would be getting bit part minutes from Ethan to develop his game this season. But this season we've got critical
brick.
Exactly.
And now all of a sudden it's
exactly. So to speak to how good Ethan is, every time we try and put a barrier as to like, but Ethan can only play so many minutes, or Ethan can only have like this little influence in the game because we need to develop him, Phil Foden, and
or this one's too big for him.
Yeah, we've got to wait for him and all this kind of stuff. I feel like every game Ethan proves us wrong. Or every game Ethan gives us a reason as to why it's like, you should start me next week, and I'm actually the best or the biggest goal threat in this team now that Saka's down. And we were speaking about the Hale End Academy thing, and I just think like, obviously there's a lot of Arsenal fans clamoring to get Ethan and Saka into the same team. When Saka's back, where does Ethan play? And I hear that. I get that. I'm also interested to see that. But we speak about Hale End, and I just feel as if like the money that we've saved with Ethan, the money that we've saved with Lewis Skelly, we don't now, in my mind, we need another winger, we need a striker, guaranteed. But we don't, in my mind, need to go and spend another 30 on a Saka backup.
Yeah.
But we don't need to go
or even really an Odegaard backup, right? Because Ethan's played well in that position as well.
So
we definitely don't need another defender because there's Zinchenko replacements here.
So to speak to like how good both of these guys are, to speak how good Ethan is, I'm generally thinking at 17, 18, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but I'm generally thinking like, it seems like the Saka understudy and the Odegaard understudy. That's locked in. Like those aren't.
But that's testament to just how good these guys are. Like, I think in Ethan's case, and I've said this to you off air, it's a bit different to Miles Lewis-Skelly, only because
attacking player.
Yeah, he's an attacking player. Only because of that. Like Miles Lewis-Skelly's quality is here and Ethan's quality is here.
Yeah.
Basically the same, right? But because Ethan's an attacking player, it's just it feels different. It looks different.
The ceiling, you can't really put it in the same place.
You know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So, and for 3 or 4 months, we were on this podcast saying that when Saka's not, or he's getting double teamed or Saka's not playing, there is no X factor in this team, right? What Mikel Arteta said after we got knocked out against Bayern Munich last year, we lack
what it takes.
Players with individual brilliance in a certain moment to just go and win the game, right? When there's nothing really being given up. And Ethan just seems to have it in abundance. The goal against Girona, followed by this goal.
So you saw the Ethan waiting, calling.
Yeah.
I want this ball. I want this ball. I want this
36 passes in the build up to that goal, by the way.
And that's why, for me, that's why it's my favorite goal. Not just the build up, because that's calm, but it's like Ethan's only had 5-10 minutes to make an impact in this game.
It was Guardiola. He nutmegged.
Yeah, he nutmegged as well. Yeah. Ethan only has 5-10 minutes to make an impact in this game, and those 4 or 5 touches from when Declan Rice switches it are pure quality.
Yeah.
Pure quality where we're not asking Mikey Moore to do that, to give him a pat on the back. We're not asking any of these other guys, any of these other 17, 18.
Target. Make the keeper make
exactly.
it.
Just get close and what's to
Yeah.
come in the next couple of years. But Ethan's already telling himself, and his mentality is so top, man. The shots per game, Ethan just. It's obviously so
He's
clear.
fearless,
It's obviously so
they
clear
both
that he
are.
wants
They both
it.
are, to be honest. But yeah,
I think it'll be interesting to see how they continue throughout the rest of the season. Now that we've not signed anyone, we're going to be leaning on them even more.
I genuinely can't wait to see him and Saka play together. I genuinely can't wait. But look, you said Kai Havertz.
Yeah. Oh.
Now, after an absolutely
terrible
miss in the first half, that should have made the game 2-0, and that should have been wraps. At halftime, I was not Kai Havertz's biggest fan.
Yeah, that's safe to say.
That's. I'll leave it there. Right? I was not Kai Havertz's biggest. I've been Kai Havertz's biggest fan. He was my number one transfer last year.
We got the receipts.
But at halftime, I was not very happy. But he redeemed himself, and thank God he did that, because I didn't really think about it too much at the time. We were saying it's good that he's gone and scored.
Yeah.
But they're talking about it on commentary about it being a big moment for him, and I hadn't seen his reaction after he missed the first one over the penalties, right? And then I started to understand why he celebrated the way he
did.
Celebrated.
I told you, he was loving that celebration.
I do think that, like, in the midst of this, like, title race and whatever, and Kai Havertz's individual season, that's a big moment for him.
Well, I have been in group chats all morning defending Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
From Arsenal fans and non-Arsenal fans who are all piling on. Guys are trying to tell me that Kai Havertz is in Arteta's top 10 worst signings. Guaranteed 100% he's in Arteta's top 10 worst signings. And I'm like, guys, we've got Pablo Mari, we've got Cedric Suarez, we've got Lokonga, we've got Matt Turner. I would say Tomiyasu's a worse signing than Havertz. I would say Tomiyasu's a worse signing than Havertz.
Tomiyasu's not in the top 10.
He's not the worst.
You didn't need to throw that name out.
No, okay, whoa. I'm just naming names of people that I would say.
Zinchenko?
Yeah, Zinchenko's in there for sure.
Jesus?
For sure.
Yeah, we can leave Tomiyasu.
No, but Tomiyasu's... in terms of I can't say he's a better signing than Havertz.
Tomiyasu...
Exactly.
Yeah. But he's not in that. He's not in the top 10 worst, bro. He's not in that conversation.
I've been in group chats. I feel like Kai Havertz, man, is one of the most misunderstood players of the league. Like, if you don't like Kai Havertz's game, if you feel like he looks clunky or he's not neat or he's not tidy, if you feel like he's not a good finisher, I hear you. I see that. I hear that. I think Kai Havertz's best position is a 9 or 10 or as a second striker, and I don't think he is a number one option unless you buy two wingers that are like Saka that can get you, Saka can get you 10 and 10, 10 and 15, 15 and 15.
But just to be devil's advocate, that's where people will throw the shit, because they'll be like, well, 65 million, 295 grand a week, and he's not your number one option.
So I agree with that, man. I've always said that the prices are bump. I've always said that the wages are sort of way too high. And obviously maybe that's my bias kicking in as to why I put that to a side so easily. But I truly think that...
Because that's all got to make up part of the transfer, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's why guys were trying to tell me that Pablo Mari and Cedric are, like, not as bad a signing as Havertz, because Havertz costs this much.
No.
I'm like, bro, Pablo Mari and Cedric don't have Arsenal careers.
Yeah.
How can they be...
And Havertz has done a lot. He's done a lot for Arsenal.
Havertz has played... I was looking at it today. Havertz has played 58 games, scored 22 goals, and had like 11 or 13 assists or whatever it is. He's pretty much got 1 and 2 GNA.
Yeah. Might be a bit more than that.
Yeah. And so I get it, because he's not like the striker to win you the league. So I get that frustration, but I really couldn't understand the willingness to throw so much shit onto Havertz's door.
Yeah.
Beyond or before other people. Yeah.
He's also not the striker to win you the league, like you say there, because there isn't a winger getting 20 goals.
So
other than obviously Saka, but there isn't one on the other side. And
I agree with
at
that.
the start of the season, what we expected Havertz to get, he's on track to probably better.
And so that's my point. That's my thing with Havertz is like, and so I'm looking like the guy that is caping for Havertz hard and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I really, other fans, I kind of understand why they would hate Havertz, because they just see the miss. Like, guys are trying to tell me Havertz has got a goal and assist versus Man City in a 5-1 win, and he's meant to be the worst Arsenal player and the worst signing, and we need to get rid of him next week.
Yeah.
He's just got a goal and assist.
Yeah.
He's not even a gunman. He's going to be our top scorer 2 seasons in a row. Like, so there's certain things with Havertz that I don't understand what other fans see. I get it. if you have the expectation of Havertz to be a 20-25 goal a season striker, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
You're gonna be upset. You're gonna have a reason to always throw shit at his doorstep. Yeah. If you think Havertz is like purely just a number 8, and like you're also gonna be upset. You're also gonna have reasons to throw shit at his door. But I just think if you look at what he's given us, provided the circumstances, now Havertz has to play every game from now to the end of the season.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no other backup option. There's no other striking option. If there's a dead rubber game, maybe Sterling can come in to give Havertz a rest, but there won't be that many dead rubber games.
Yeah.
They all mean something, yeah. So I really appreciated the second goal, or sorry, the Havertz's goal in this game, as well as his assist. The finish is brilliant, but for me, just the overall conversation around Havertz, I always wonder what people are so quick to throw shit at. Yeah. Can I agree that Havertz has his limitations? It's not that I see him as a perfect player, but right now he's our only goal scorer. He's our only striking position, and he is kind of still delivering us what we need. So I don't know. I don't know about your thoughts on Havertz. I don't know how many times you have to defend Havertz, or but I just truly think that I agree the price was too much, the wages are too much, but for what he's given us, he's been a good signing for us.
Yeah.
He's up the levels.
Yo, I agree with that. And there are times when I'm having conversations with my mates and I'll give my piece on Havertz, but like I had a conversation with a United fan a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about Havertz and whatever, and I was like, cool. What you can think whatever you think of Havertz, but he's our top goal scorer this season.
And
like, no matter what you think about Havertz as a player, his all-round game, all of that, like, there's so many other people that I can throw shit at their door before Kai Havertz.
And that's what I was saying.
Right? Like you say, he's on track to be our top goal scorer again for a second season, right? He's on 9 Premier League goals. We thought good season would be 12 or 13 from Havertz because we know he's not a goal scorer. I think where a lot of people kind of make that, and at this point could be valid, is that a lot of people feel like Arsenal fans, after kind of Havertz second half of last season, that's our number 9, that's our guy, that's whatever, right? Now we're at a point where 90% of Arsenal fans, probably more than that, say we need a striker, right? And we don't need a striker to come and sit on the bench. We need the striker to come in and start, right? So that's probably in Havertz's position. And then they start throwing the 65 million and the wage and for a guy that might not be on the bench, yeah. Personally, like, I understand the point, but I just think there will always be minutes for Havertz in Arteta's team.
For me, there's no doubt about that.
So if we go and sign Isak, yeah, or Gyökeres, or whoever this big money signing is, yeah, that we all say, yo, this guy, you spent the money on him, he's on number 9, he has to start. I can see Arteta playing Havertz on the right, and guys don't like that. Guys will tell me that Havertz can't play on the right. Cool. I'm not telling you I'm doing it. Arteta will play him there.
Arteta will do it.
Right?
Arteta will play him in field.
In the 8, in the 10, Odegaard come out.
I also think...
and there will be games where, like, forgetting about injuries and stuff, which is inevitable, and then Havertz might have to go in them. There will be games where they just, this might be a Havertz
This is a Havertz game. I also just think that, like, more than Gyökeres, more than Watkins, more than... Sesko, any of these names mentioned, I think Havertz, man, in terms of what Arteta's looking for in a number 9 or a striker or a centre forward, he ticks 9 out of 10 boxes. I heard someone say he ticks 9 out of 10 boxes of what Arteta wants. He links up the play, he works hard, he wins second balls, he wins headers, he's a dual threat, 100%. All of this kind of stuff. He ticks all of those boxes.
His press is top.
The only thing he doesn't do to a very, very, very elite level,
clinical,
is being clinical. So we need to sign someone who does that to a very elite level. So the reason I agree with your point, Havertz will always get minutes, because when it comes to ticking boxes of what Arteta wants out of players, Havertz ticks all of those boxes. We just need someone who's going to be a goal scorer, man. 100%. But it was really good that he got that goal yesterday. There was something else that I was going to say.
And on that goal, like, we've said this before, when Havertz doesn't have to think about what he's going to do, and it's just instinctive. We know the quality that he has. We know what the Southampton goal earlier in the season. We've seen other goals, even his goal against Villa. That obviously Martinez should probably save it, but that's just come to him. He's had to hit that on the volley. He's made good contact. He's got it on target.
Yeah,
I kind of knew that when that ball fell to Havertz in that first half,
time
almost stood still. Like, even for me in the crowd. Like
I
it was
don't
like,
trust Havertz on a
bro, where are
1v1.
you gonna put like this? And for a striker, that's the easiest chance you can get. Probably,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
bang center of the middle of the
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
You can go left, you can go right, top corner, bottom corner, do whatever you. All you really have to do is get it past the goalkeeper.
And I think the worst thing about Havertz is that he doesn't want that chance again. A striker wants that chance again. A striker can miss that chance. Like we've seen,
because even the first one, Thierry was like, Odegaard scored, so Havertz made the right decision, right? And I was thinking, like, is it that simple? And I came to the conclusion that it probably is that simple, right? Odegaard has scored, so Havertz has probably made the
but
right
I agree
decision.
that there's a little bit of like you want your striker to take that shot.
But I don't
But
think
that's the thing.
I don't think Odegaard was in a better position to score.
But that's the thing. I just feel as if like we've seen Watkins miss, bro, from 3, 4, 5 yards out versus us this season alone. But Watkins wants that chance again.
Yeah.
Watkins wants to be in the exact same position, right in front of the keeper, on whatever foot it is to have that shot again. I do feel as if the chance that Havertz missed, which is a horrendous miss, it's just a chance that Havertz doesn't want.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why he squared it the first time.
Yeah.
The striker's goal, that's not the Havertz goal.
That's
unless
why
it's
I
a
think the
header
goal was so important for him.
Yeah, no, it was massive for him. And as I say, the same thing about these guys were beefing me.
Because hopefully it puts him in a mentality of like, okay, well, I'll take that next chance.
I'll take these ones. I do think that Havertz, he can suffer a little bit mentally, but I do think that Havertz will, because Arteta will. I don't think Arteta's gonna let up on him, man. I do think Arteta's telling him like, you're only number 9. You need to take those shots.
Yeah, 100%.
Havertz yesterday, they were saying like, like 4 shots on goal, a goal and an assist.
Yeah,
it'd be a good striker day if it was anybody else.
Yeah.
But for Havertz, I know that it's easy to throw shit at his doorstep. I was saying the same guys that are telling me Havertz is a top 10 worst signing. Havertz needs to go. Havertz is terrible. I'm like, I want Cunha for 80 mil.
Yeah.
I'm like, what problem does we've just seen Cunha make that miss?
Yeah. But then Cunha does take the second. He does want the next chance.
Yeah. But Cunha's obviously got that Brazilian dog.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of genuine quality about him.
Yeah.
But no, I say this to say that like I'm not delusional. I'm not like a delusional Havertz fan. Havertz has shortfalls. Yeah, we've just explained them. But I do think that a lot of Arsenal fans or fans who don't really watch Arsenal or other clubs, whatever it is, I don't know what expectations they have on Havertz. Like they're killing him for doing things he like no one once said when we bought Havertz, that's it, that's the league wrapped up. We've just signed our 25 goal a season gun, man. No one once said that. So how can I, at 2 seasons later, kill Havertz for not scoring 25 goals? We knew that when he signed.
Exactly. 100%. It's like
we knew that when he signed.
I think there was one point in the pod last year when we had a conversation about it might have been Conor Gallagher, and Chelsea. There was a point last year where Chelsea fans were getting onto him, and people, he's been your best midfielder, and Matisse was like, well, that's a problem. If Conor Gallagher's our best, that tells you what the problem is and whatever, And now Conor Gallagher's balling in Atletico, but I was making a point that like if Chelsea fans want to see Conor Gallagher go past people in midfield and play progressive passes, find people in the final third, and like you're just never gonna get that from him. Like that's not who he is. That's not what his game is. But I've always said, but there's a place for Conor Gallagher in a Premier League midfield, and Simeone showing that, right? Kai Havertz, like he's never gonna be like a goal scorer like that. He's never gonna be that. So if that's what you want him to be, then you're just never gonna
always
get that.
Have a reason.
You'll never be happy, and that's cool. Like, so if as an Arsenal fan you want your number 9 to just bag goals, cool. Like you'll have your issues with Havertz, but if you can't see what Havertz does bring to the game, like you say, if he ticks almost pretty much every other
9
box
out of 10
for Mikel Arteta, then look, it is what it is. And like I said, I think there's so many other people you can throw shit at before you get to Kai Havertz. But I was not happy after that. I was not happy. Look, Gabriel, we have to on the desk. Gabriel gets his revenge, and Gabriel was just. Sometimes I say this, and he was not prepared to be on the losing side
today.
Right?
I think he's seen that too many times.
Yeah, we used to said that about Rodri. Last year. Rodri he wasn't going to be on the losing team when the full time whistle's blown. He's not going to be on the losing team, and Gabriel had that yesterday.
I think we've been saying this about this team though for a while, in the sense of like they have a good ability to bounce back from tough setbacks, innit? And we were saying how like Gabriel and Saliba, and I can't remember what team we were speaking about it. Maybe it was Man City, but we were just saying like they lost there last year. I know that hurt them.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know that killed them. I
Yeah.
know they're not gonna go into this game with the same sort of like, oh, we can just lose this one because, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, no one epitomizes that more than Gabriel, and I don't think we have.
That's my point. I think you could see quite clearly how much Gabriel wanted to win that game.
Yeah. He was doing things he'd never done.
Well, yeah, what do you make if that overhead kick had gone in? That was what do you make of all the stuff between him and Haaland?
I love it, man. I honestly, as I said,
Haaland was public enemy number one.
I really don't understand, man. I think I don't know if it's English media, I don't know if it's just my algorithm on Twitter or whatever it is, but I really don't understand the whole like today's game is so rigid and instructed, and there's no sort of freedom of personality and freedom of all of this kind of stuff. And then when something like Gabriel and Haaland comes along, we're also gonna hate on that.
Yeah, 100%. When that's what people have been crying out for. We want rivalry.
Exactly.
Klopp and Pep.
How many times, I'm an Arsenal fan, but how many times do we need to see the whole Vieira Roy Keane thing? Like, it's rinsed.
Yeah.
That was 20 years ago. Like, we have to have new rivalries. We have to have new people to love and hate. If you hate Haaland,
they were saying it was reminiscent of Martin Keown on Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, bro, I hear that, but like, I think this is what football's about a lot more than this. But this is also what football is about, man. Is getting better of your opposite number, bro.
For the neutrals, man, come on, this is better than the City Paul era.
Come on. By a million miles. By a million miles. Van Dijk and Diaz having their kids are having drinks. Daycare and KDB. Carpool with Van Dijk to school.
And you know what? The one thing I will say, is like we hate Erling Haaland, and he was public enemy number one at the Emirates on Sunday. But I'll give a fair play to him. Yeah, I think he actually took it quite well.
I also like the fact that Haaland was showing Gabriel or Arsenal fans the Premier League badge, and he's like, you want one of these.
Yeah.
As much as I hate that, I also love that because it lets me know, one, that he's rattled, and two, it's true.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to him. Haaland has to dig into his deep bag and start saying trebles and.
But I do think, like, even with Haaland's celebration, with the abuse that he was getting, he could have done a lot more.
Yeah. But I think
we saw what Rodri did that New Year's Day game. So
credit to Haaland, you're right, because I think he also kind of knows
he was getting dogs abuse from nearly all the games. So.
He also kind of knows that, like, I dished it out a little bit. I can't.
I
can't. I'm not Jamie Carragher. I can't dish it out, and then when somebody says something to me, it's how could you ever say that? And
even when Gabriel sends him to get his boot, and Haaland actually,
that's what I'm saying. Him up, and then Gabriel's like, "No, help me up. Go get my."
That was nasty.
Haaland's like, "Well, fuck you then." No, I personally, man, I think I love it. Man. I think I love it. I don't understand the downfalls, like everything short of guys punching each other in the face. I'm sort of here for. I want to see games that have needle, that have competitiveness, that have. Bro, I just can't imagine trying to watch a football game and the striker doesn't want to get one over in his central defender, or the central defender doesn't want to get one over the striker.
Like, I respect Gabriel highly, because if you asked any Premier League centre back what striker they don't want to have beef with, I think every single one of them would say Erling Haaland.
But I agree with that, but I disagree with that, because I think that Gabriel knows Haaland's game plays into my game perfect. I don't think Gabriel wants the guy who wants to take his shorts, and Gabriel's good at that. But I don't think Gabriel wants the guy who takes.
You want to beef the guy that scores 36 goals that broke the Premier League record.
Yeah, but Haaland scored versus us home and away this season, but he doesn't really score that much. And if he gets one, it's one. And that's his one chance in the whole game. Not even like Haaland's had a multitude of chances and he's only taken one.
But for a striker, that's it really, isn't it? If you get one, that's all you need to get.
No, of course, that's all you need to get. And that's why Haaland is, who he is, and he has the quality that he has. But I just think if Gabriel's looking at Haaland's game versus other strikers in the league, he's like, I know this guy's the best, but his game and my game, I'm the best.
His game and my game, I agree.
His game and my game match up perfectly. Like
Gabriel would rather beef Xerxes.
Yeah, I guess
like Xerxes comes short and drops deep.
I get it, because I guess he thinks that, obviously I'm just a way better player than Xerxes, but I do think that.
Do you think there's any other centre back in the league that would pick Haaland?
Like, I think Gabriel doesn't want to buckle Lautaro Martinez. Like, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want the guy that can drop 10 yards, but can also run in behind. And he's going to be nice with it at the feet, and he's going to try me on both sides and all of this kind of stuff. But a Haaland, even a potentially Marcus Thuram.
Haaland's more clinical, though, isn't it? Like
Haaland is more.
You give Haaland half the yard, and he could score.
But Gabriel, I think he's banking on the fact that even the Haaland goal on Saliba, we were saying that never happens to Gabriel.
Yeah.
So I think Haaland's goals, most of them, he's banking on the like out muscling, outpacing his striker, and then having the finish to match with it. Yeah. Whereas Gabriel, I think he's banking on never being out-muscled, never being outpaced. Even if it is by Haaland, the goal that he'll get will have to be on the other side.
Well, look, I mean, I think it's pretty well known that Haaland's probably the best striker in the world, and that's the guy that he's chosen to beef. So.
I don't know. They've said Isak. Guys on Sky Sports have come and said Isak. Jamie said I think he's the best in the Premier League, and everybody sort of co-signed that. When Haaland wasn't scoring goals.
Well, I mean, Haaland's still going to outscore him, innit?
Haaland will outscore everyone.
Yeah. Right. That's we just had a conversation about strikers and goal scorers, and if you want your striker to score goals,
bro, that's like, it's like signing Haaland. The Havertz thing is like signing Haaland and fully criticizing him for not linking up, playing enough. And I know they do. And I know they do that, but obviously, maybe just because I'm an Arsenal fan, I see it differently. I just don't ever. I feel like those are non-serious conversations.
Yeah.
We're talking to Haaland. Yeah. He scored 2. He scored versus Chelsea last week. He scored versus Arsenal this week. But it's his link-up play.
Bro, did you see that was like his 250th senior club career goal or something? Like he's a beast. But not you know what? Look, I would entertain the Isak conversation. Isak is definitely 100% more my type of striker. Yeah. Than a guy who doesn't touch the ball for 34 minutes. Right? Yeah. But I still think Haaland I think he's the best just because the goal scoring.
The numbers speak for, as you said, 250 goals.
Like if you don't touch the ball for 34 minutes and you score, like
he scored versus Chelsea and Arsenal in 2 weeks. Like
you're the anti Havertz.
If Isak did that for us, if Isak did that for anybody, we would be having.
Yeah. That's literally all we've been asking for. Isn't it? Someone that scores goals. We don't need you to link up.
Whatever 30 minutes.
We don't need you to run the channels. We don't like whatever.
Havertz will do that.
Exactly. Look, a couple more points just to talk about on Arsenal, and then we will move it on. David Raya. Now, you guys are probably thinking, well, you don't need to speak about David Raya. You can move it on, but we need to speak about.
We need to speak about David Raya
because he kept us in the game. Somewhat, obviously, we were 1-0 up, but he made some top saves.
Yeah.
And he had. I saw the Guardiola left foot ball first time.
What, Raya has to come across?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
There was times with Guardiola, he played this right foot whiz pass into De Bruyne. It was proper stuff. But yeah, David Raya, he's had an unbelievable season, and not only is he making great saves, but I think in a game like this against Man City, his ability on the ball,
his outfield stuff is crazy.
Is just like it makes it so difficult for teams to press us.
Have you seen the
because it's just like an extra man now.
I was gonna say, do you know what he does? It's like the reverse target man. Normally you like want to go long, or if you're in a bit of trouble, if you're Ben White or Timber, you just want to kick up the pitch, kick it down line, and it's tough for them to bring it back. David Raya is always an option.
Yeah.
If you're down by the touchline and it's a bit tight and you're not really sure if you can make that ball down the line or if it's a bit of a risk, David Raya is always an option. He's asking for give me that one. I'll take it. Don't worry. I'll find the right pass. We'll start again.
What about the times when he forms part of the back four? He's outside of his box. He's not even in the goal. He's just part of the back four now.
I think I can't listen to an Arsenal fan tell me, top 3 players this season that doesn't include David Raya. I don't think a true Arsenal fan can have that many players ahead of David Raya. His consistency this season, going back to the penalty saves in the Champions League and all of that kind of stuff, man. I think he's been so top. He's gone up a level since Ramsdale's gone, and he's been the number one. And well, let's honestly just hope that he stays fit, because as you were saying, even tactically, it's not just that he keeps the ball out and he brings a calming presence, but tactically on the pitch, build up and all this kind of stuff. He's a massive part as to what we do.
He's almost like a number 6, isn't it?
Yeah,
the way he stands and he waits for the free man, and everyone makes their movements on whatever. It's top stuff. And I think that's when you play against a Pep team, I think that goalkeeper is so important for how you set up your your build up, how you try and break out.
Who were we watching? Do you remember when I think it was Carl Walker when he was like, "It's never man to man because the goalkeeper is also a player on the pitch, and so it's never man to man."
Yeah,
you know,
there's always an extra.
That's David Raya in full effect.
Yeah, 100%, 100. I'm pretty sure that's why Pep said De Zerbi and Brighton have the best build up in world football, because do you remember there was like Jason Steele. Yeah, we'll change this week in, week out. We'll do our triangles here. We'll build up here and whatever. But lastly, from the Arsenal perspective, Mikel Arteta. We can't have this conversation and not speak about Mikel Arteta. I'll tentatively say the student becomes the master.
Tentatively, I agree with you.
But look, a 5-1. Look, nobody dunks on Pep like that.
Yeah.
Right. I think that they said the last time Pep held 5 goals was in 2007.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised. Bro.
And now Mikel's just come and handed him.
I'll give Mikel already an MVP of the week. I just think that the management over the past, like, obviously we've won 5-1 this weekend, so this one is important, but for like 3-4 games has been so good. Who to bring out, who to start.
Yep. Who to
rest, the subs, 45 Partey, 45
we both wanted Ethan to start.
Yeah.
I think most Arsenal fans did.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been mad either if Calafiori had started. After calling for Miles the whole time.
Yeah.
For Calafiori was in a bit of a run of form, and getting 3 games in a row out of Calafiori would have been good.
I agree.
To know that is possible.
But obviously Miles Lewis Kelly scores, so that's
out the crazy. But
I think the starting Martinelli over Ethan, looking back now, obviously with hindsight, and that's why Mikel Arteta is the manager. I think that was the right call, because even those couple of times that Guardiola does get in, right, we obviously just have to defend that. You're gonna have to allow that. Guardiola, like,
he's one of those guys. Yeah.
When Foden plays that ball out to him, like, every winger is expecting him to take a touch, and then you can get into position, and Guardiola's just wrap that across the box first time, right? So. And I think Ethan, at his age, I think that might have been a bit too much to ask of him to
mark the back post.
Track that, right? Track Man City's biggest goal threat, right? Man City's most dangerous player or whatever. Obviously, Ethan comes on and scores. I think tactically he got it spot on. I didn't think he'd set up in a way to really kind of play on the transition. And I was actually going to mention this because I saw Thierry say afterwards, because Carragher seems to really love this, like, Arteta's more Jose than he is Pep. And
I told you I hated that from time.
You did say that, but you were also saying that we're only playing Harambe because there's no Odegaard.
Yeah, now Odegaard's back, to be fair, and I think it's because Ethan.
Look, I think Arteta is more Pep, but in the big games he's definitely more Jose. That's why we have this big game record, right? When did Jose ever lose a big game?
Yeah, did you see, even for United, he didn't lose 5 games at home.
Yeah.
He didn't lose more.
You think of Jose's biggest games in his career: Champions League with Porto, Nou Camp with Inter, right? Like he just doesn't seem to lose those big games. But Thierry was saying that, I think, because that was obviously Thierry's played under Pep, and Thierry sees Pep as the goal and the philosopher and everything. Yeah, he goes, I think Pep does look at Mikel when he plays against Mikel's teams sometimes and thinks, well, I didn't teach you that. I didn't teach you to play like that. And Thierry's saying that, like, and Pep thinks that everybody should play his way. There's interviews before he goes back like 4 or 5 years when they played, might have been Blackburn or whoever
it was.
And then Pep's in his interview saying, I don't know why they play football like that. It's not the right way to play, and you should do all of this. And so Thierry's like, I think Pep does kind of look at Mikel and think, well, I didn't teach you that. So.
Well, I think obviously the difference is the fact that he's more vast. He has more vast experience of English football.
Yeah.
He's got the Moyes knowledge.
He's played Jose teams.
He's got the Moyes knowledge. He knows when to be rigid. He knows when I need to do this in the game. I think that's obviously also why I agree with the Jose thing to a certain extent. Obviously, I see it. But I also think the Moyes and Jose thing is why Arteta's chosen to build from the back in this league. And to I need a strong defense. His Everton teams, he knows no matter how many stars we had, Pinar and K, whoever it was, if I didn't have Distan,
Fellaini,
if I didn't have Distan and all these other guys as rigid defenders, we would have gone down every season.
Yeah.
Every season.
Yeah.
So,
but do you think there's some truth to what Thierry's saying there? He obviously knows Pep very well.
yeah, no,
I think Pep does kind of look at it.
I do think there's just some truth to that. And I think Arteta also knows that you can't beat Pep at his game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to do something.
I said this last year. I think Arteta needs to go full Jose, right? Because that's like when you think Pep, you think Jose, because Jose was the only one that could really kind of.
But the Pep and Jose thing is so good because it's like the anti-venom.
Yeah.
They're both each other's.
Pep called him the anti-football or something.
Yeah.
He said he plays anti-football.
Yeah.
And I can see that as well. I don't think Pep likes the way
Mikel's been doing things.
Arteta plays when he plays against like.
The reason I could never see Mikel as fully Jose is just because I don't think Jose plays Luis Skelly as an inverted left back.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think that happens. I also think that Jose sees Rice as a 6. You know, and Jose is just like, well,
I think Jose, he played Essien as an 8.
No, but
that's
Essien
the guy. A lot when Arsenal signed Declan Rice, a lot of people compared him to him.
No, they were wrong for that.
Well, Essien's a bad boy.
Essien is a bad boy. But Essien and Rice, they're similar.
But he had Makaleli behind Essien.
No, they're similar, but
Essien and Lampard.
I wouldn't have ever put Essien and Rice into like similar game styles. You know, or similar.
What, that powerhouse gets all round the pitch, up and down.
Jose would have kept Rice at the 6 right in front of Gabriel and Saliba and just said, you're not getting past this.
I think Jose beefs that midfield up as much as possible.
I think Jose, there would be an additional midfield signing. It wouldn't be Havertz, for example.
Jose in a big game isn't getting Rice and then Odegaard and some other flimsy guy.
It wouldn't be flimsy guy. It would be Jose's guy. It would be another 6'2" guy.
So keep Declan Rice there. Bring your 6'2"
No. Jose's loving off Rice.
But look, Mikel does that, right? Whatever we're saying about Declan Rice playing there or he playing further up, Mikel plays his 6'2" guys. Thomas Partey, number 6.
A bit further forward.
Declan Rice, you play here.
Yeah.
It's still a powerhouse midfield.
It's still a powerhouse midfield in a different way to the both of them.
But I think that the game plan, yeah, that's how Jose's Real Madrid used to go and beat Pep's Barca. We'll sit back, we'll soak the pressure, and we'll kill you on the transition.
But I don't think that. Yeah, the last bit.
Yeah,
and
that's how we win the game.
No, I agree, but to be honest, I don't know because we didn't take on an onslaught from City. We were just so passive.
Yeah.
We were just so passive. Like Jose's team, they're always prepared for the onslaught. As well. And the set pieces is very Jose. Set pieces is very Jose.
Especially big games, nothing in it. We'll just win it on a set piece.
Yeah. I just think the worst thing about the game is the fact that we were so passive between going 1-0 up. Well, sorry, between Kai Havertz missing the chance
and Haaland's goal.
Like I can't even say that City put it on us. And
yeah.
You know,
just way too passive.
We just let them
not
do that.
Close to play, not making tackles.
I will also say that the last thing on this point is it was a dream day in the sense that we literally scored in the first minute of the game and the last minute of the game. And I just don't know how many times that will ever happen in Arsenal history again.
Yeah.
First and very last minute of the game, we score.
Well, we get the dream day.
Yeah.
We get the dream day. Yeah. But quickly on the Man City side of things, Phil Foden had an absolute stinker. There's been a lot of conversations about Erling Haaland, which I think is unnecessary.
It's nonsense talk when guys talk about Haaland in building.
Like, we know that Haaland doesn't touch the ball for 35 minutes, but he scores. That's exactly what he did on Sunday. He didn't touch the ball for however long, but he scores his goal. Like,
he's 2-2.
But I don't think there's any real more conversation to have around that.
That's
who he is, right?
For me, it's nonsense, man.
Phil Foden.
Walter. Is that his middle name?
Yeah, Philip Walter Foden. Stinker. Yeah, you absolute waste, man. Come outside. Ethan dunked on you. Lewis Skelly dunked on you.
Right. I can't lie. Phil Foden, he plays a very good PR game, man.
Very good.
Because he's got the purple patch just in before this.
I think he's in touch with Rashford's people. For sure.
And you know what I hate? It's a side topic, but Phil Foden, man, we were always saying
it's all Campbell thing.
Yeah, underbelly. We were saying how before. It's underbelly. I love that. Like for Phil Foden, we were saying in the summer how we need to see you come back and ball. We don't want to see you. Well, we were saying how you need to come back and ball, but even if you did, It'd be questionable and all this kind of stuff. And he's done worse. He's come back and he's not bald.
Yep.
He's hit a little bit of a purple patch. But I fully, like you, I don't understand how Foden can get away unscathed having a game like he did yesterday.
The ref got in his way. That's the analysis we got. The only thing I can think of is that the ref gets in his way and he can't see Thomas Partey. That's what Gary Neville said.
If the roles were reversed, for example, if Arsenal had just equalised, Thomas Partey gives it away to Phil Foden on a sloppy one. Phil Foden crashes it in from 25 yards.
Forget about Thomas Partey because we know guys want to kill Thomas Partey. If that's Bukayo Saka...
You're right, because it could be anybody in the Arsenal team, and that's my point.
Neville's saying, Saka hasn't seen the referee. And...
I will kill Phil Foden. Well, I just think Phil Foden has been incredibly poor and up and down this season.
Yeah, terrible.
And coming after a PFA Player of the Year, I don't think there's really an excuse.
Yep.
It's come out and said I was playing in different positions.
You shouldn't be held to the same standards as all the other guys.
Exactly.
Your
PFA Player of the Year, man.
Stand up.
You've just scored 18, 20 goals, no pens last season, and now we're meant to be like head over heels because you've scored.
You're also not on the way out like a Gundo, like a De Bruyne, like a Bernardo, like all of those guys who have served their time.
The same question we were asking of you last season is the exact same question we're asking of you this season. Like, step up, can you be the guy? You know, City need a guy, can you be the guy?
Yeah.
And I've come to accept that Foden will get off lightly throughout his career.
Because of what he's won.
Yeah, because of what he's won, because of who he's been under, just because of everything, that he will get off lightly. But I fully don't understand. I just fully don't understand Foden's mentality going into the season, or why Foden, like, as I say, with the whole Rice thing, Rice was, I can't say he was poor, but, you know, he wasn't himself at the beginning of the season. But now we're in Feb.
Yep.
And Foden's still going on about the summer.
Yeah.
Foden's still saying he's unhappy that he was being played out of position.
And Bryce might actually have more GA.
Do you know what we were saying about Trent?
Yeah.
And how Trent became little bro to Jude. I think Foden felt that big time as well.
Yeah.
I think Foden went into the summer thinking, I'm big bro. Pep, Man City, treble, 4-peat. I've won 4 in a row. All of this kind of stuff. He thinks he's big bro. And he's come out of the summer and Jude stocks are higher. Saka stocks are higher. Cole Palmer's done his thing. Cole Palmer, they're saying he's the best player in the league. So I feel like there's a little bit of I don't know if it's insecurity. I don't know if that's the right word, but I just feel as if Phil Foden thought he was big bro and he's seen other guys go on to do things and they're sort of getting treated like big bro, and now he's worried. And now he's like,
and he's seen the next one that's going to overtake him.
Let that happen.
Ethan.
Let that happen.
And look, lastly, I was going to ask you this question. Do you think Pep should be handling the loss of Rodri better than he is? Did you expect him to? I think we both probably expected him to, right? We didn't think City would be in this position, even with losing Rodri.
Yeah, I thought City would still be a comfortably top 4 team. Now it's not looking that much comfortable. I agree with people who are saying it's not all down to Rodri. Pep has made poor managerial decisions in terms of like who to bring in, the whole Calvin Phillips thing. We've just let that slide. Like, Calvin Phillips was a lot of money. He's gone. Now Rodri's out and you don't have a 6 to replace him. You're recalling Gundo, asking favours from friends who gave up on the league to come back and help you out.
He's in contact with Sergio Busquets.
I love Sergio. Me and Sergio have the best relationship. You know? So there's stuff that Pep has to do better. Like, I can't accept... I love it, but I can't accept that Rodri's out and now City just become open season on transition.
Especially if we think Pep is who he is.
Yeah, I just can't accept that Rodri's out and now it's open season on transitions. And it's not just like, Arsenal are a good club, Arsenal have killed them in transition. Anybody can kill City.
That's a club
Yeah, anybody can kill City in transition. So Pep's got to do better on that respect. You've also just had a January transfer window.
Let's not forget Arsenal have also lost their best player.
Sign a 6, bro.
Yeah.
If Rodri or the 6th position is that important, so we'll see what he has. We'll see what he has to say about
Hopefully things. He hits a level before the Liverpool game.
No, Pep's got to do better, but I think at the same time it's obviously always tough to criticize Pep.
But if they don't make top 4, it's criminal.
Yeah. If they don't make top 4, it is criminal because when they bought Savinho and when they've brought in Marmoush,
they spent more than all the other 19 Premier League clubs in this January.
Right? When they brought all of these guys in, it was to go for another one. I don't think Pep has ever come into a league campaign thinking, I'll take this one off.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like there was no excuse. There was always no excuse, man. You set the standards and we gave you all this praise, and And I don't know. I just hate City, man. It was good to beat them 5-1.
Yeah. Enjoyed that.
Exactly.
Thank you, Hale End. Thank you, Mikel. Thank you, Kai Havertz. Thank you, even Martin Odegaard. Quickly, Martin Odegaard. I was killing him a lot after the game, but when I watched it back, I actually think he played pretty well.
Played all right.
So fair play to Martin Odegaard. Hopefully, as Nick said, we can see you kick on.
From here.
If not, your backup's there and waiting. So we'll move it on to Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. We have to talk about this game.
Yeah.
Because Nottingham Forest won 7-0 in the early kickoff.
I don't think Nuno should be beating anybody 7-0. Nuno's a good manager.
They played 5 at the back in that game.
From
minute 1.
Nuno is right there for manager of the season. If not already hands down manager of the season, he's right there
100%.
with Guardiola for manager 100%. Of the season. And there is no excuse to lose to a Nuno team 7-0.
No excuse, I agree. It was an impressive bounce back from Forest. Chris Wood hat-trick.
Yeah.
I've said on this pod that I don't know how
I was gonna say
he keeps doing it.
He needs to stop, but then does he need to stop?
He's on 17. If he scored, I
asked
you what's the max he could get. You said 17. As soon as you said 18, I was like, no.
But now it's happening.
Now he's 3 away from 20 with 14 games.
It's also crazy that Chris Wood at the age of 33 could
20 Premier League
exactly
goals.
At the age of 33. Chris Wood at the age of 33 is just going to be a 20 goal a season player.
20 Premier League goals is ridiculous. Watkins didn't get that last year.
Dominic Solanke guys who've had their best seasons ever in their prime are only getting 18.
Yeah, 19, whatever. Yeah,
you know.
But yeah. So look, shout out Chris Wood, man. Respect to you. Now, Brighton, and you know what you're saying like a bit earlier in the pod about how if you hate certain clubs and whatever, and fans get together, it's actually funny how many teams hate Brighton. United fans hate Brighton. Yeah. Liverpool fans don't like Brighton. Tottenham don't like Chelsea. Fans don't like Brighton. It's actually funny how many teams don't like, because normally it's just amongst the big clubs. But everyone's there to see, and I don't like Brighton. Right?
I don't like Brighton, but I definitely don't hate them as much as everybody else hates them. I hate Villa and Newcastle and
United
these guys
fans
more.
hate them the most.
Yeah.
Because they just keep coming there and dunking on them. But it was good to see. It was good to see. Like, I like seeing Brighton get slapped like that.
Yeah, I think Hurstler, obviously, I rate Hurstler still, rate him highly.
Yeah.
But Hurstler needed that lesson. I don't know what he was trying with that line.
Hurstler showed absolutely no respect.
I don't know what he was trying
to Nottingham Forest, to Nuno with the team he picked. He had a midfield 3 of Hinshelwood, João Pedro, and Rutter.
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying.
Right, that's his midfield 3 behind Welbeck, Minte, and Matoma. That's his front 6 players. I don't know in what world that midfield can ever compete in the Premier League.
Maybe I think he thought
dominate possession.
Not even we can get a goal or 2 in the first 20 minutes, and then I just have guys who can run around and harry things down.
6 of those guys on there to score a goal or 2 in the first.
I also think that he's been out hipstered. Like, Iriola's got the big win on Nottingham Forest the week before, and Hurstler thinks, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you've done there. I see what you've done with those triangles, and I see what you've done with that counter press. So I'm going to do this to show you that I'm equal at that level, and it's just not worked out the same.
It reminded me a bit of, do you remember when we played Forest last year? And Mikel played Rice, Smith Rowe, and Odegaard.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked because the whole game was just played in their half. It was just complete and utter domination. And we eventually went and won the game, But that's Declan Rice.
Yeah, exactly.
We've already spoken about how special Declan Rice is, And that's 2 still they're 10s, but they're midfield players. Right?
Yeah.
This is Hinshelwood, who's not an athlete, can't get round the pitch,
and then 5 forwards
with 2 strikers in midfield, right? Maybe João Pedro's a 10. Rutter, he's definitely not a midfield player. He's a winger or he's a striker.
It's nuts. It's truly nuts from Brighton. I also want to shout out Anthony Elanga. I thought he was
I've always liked Elanga.
Incredible on the day. Obviously Hudson-Odoi was out. Gibbs White has done his thing. Everyone's on the like.
I always used to say he was Man United's best winger.
You know, and this might be a little bit disrespectful to Gibbs White, but you know the Maddison thing from a couple of years ago when Maddison was a good player but wasn't really getting into the England team or the squads, and it felt sort of niche and cool to shout, Maddison should be playing for England. That's why you need Maddison.
Yeah.
I feel like Gibbs White is sort of in that bracket now where it's like Gibbs White is legitimately has enough talent to play for England. There's no doubt about that. But
the forward players that England have are just such top quality.
Does he get in? But guys are doing the whole.
But he's ahead of Maddison.
He's ahead of Maddison, no doubt. But guys are doing. I've always been saying that Gibbs White should be playing for England. I'm like, bro, which team did you want to slide him into?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And even if Gibbs White goes, like, does he get any minutes really?
Matters minutes.
Like I was making the point to you about what Tuchel's going to see in Ethan, an X factor. If he's got to pick Ethan or Gibbs White purely for a bench option because neither of them are going to start.
Yeah, it maybe makes more sense.
Who's Tuchel going to trust to come and change the game?
You're nasty. You're nasty.
But look, it's not nasty. It's just like, I know what I'm saying. They're calling him Iron Robin. They're saying he's got a trademark finish at 17.
Gibbs White has been good. He's been good over the last few seasons, guys. For sure. I really rate Gibbs White, but
Elliot Anderson, I think, is having an underrated season.
Yeah.
He's been very good.
He has been very good, but I think actually I was clowning Newcastle and Forest for spending that much money on him. But the fit with Forest, it makes sense. Nuno needs guys who can do that in his midfield.
Yeah.
100%. He just needs guys who can do that.
If anything, I'm just glad that Eddie Howe doesn't have another one of those. To just plug and play in here. But look, we'll move it on. Last game we're going to talk about. So apologies to Tottenham fans. We know you won. Shout out Ange.
Shout out Son. Shout out.
Yeah. Who else got a decent result this weekend? Wolves.
Pick up Wolves. Cunha. We saw you.
Liverpool.
Fulham.
We know you won again. A bit dodgy at Bournemouth. PGMOL conspiracy.
Not sure what's going on there, but we'll let that slide.
Say anything, but well done. You got your 3 points. But we are going to talk about Manchester United versus Crystal Palace because there's proof at Old Trafford that a 3-4-2-1 formation can work, but only for the away
team.
But Glasner went there and he gave us proof that this formation in this stadium, it can work. So I then have to ask, look.
I think this is so damning, this loss, man.
United losing to a Mateta brace. We know how we feel about
boom,
that.
Boom, boom, boom.
Mateta's in the room. I've told you, man, when that comes on at Selhurst, it's long. It's long. After South London's red and blue. You know it's true. South London's number one.
I actually really respect Crystal Palace fans just because it's like, it's not the best club to support in London.
Yeah. But they make it a tough place to go. They make it a tough place to go. That Selhurst trip is always sticky. Even City in all of this trebles.
They've not found it easy.
Pep's not really been able to clock the.
And Crystal Palace fans are clinging at straws. They're clasping
Yeah.
We've got Will Hughes. We've got.
You're Celia saying Will Hughes seems to always put on a Blasic when he plays Man United. Right. But yeah, look, they lost to a Mateta brace. And look, Amorim played Mainu false 9.
Says it all, man.
And he played Mainu in the 10 in their game midweek in Europe. And I watched that game. And I was telling you, Mainu played very well in that game, right? Albeit oppositions may as well be Elsport.
Yeah.
Right. But Mainu played well. And I think that
Europa League kills me because what was that team that United played like the third game after they lost their first two? And it was
Victoria Pilsen.
It's like, this is a must win.
Yeah. Pilsen's now a must win game. Pilsen at home. I think that was one that Rude got.
Bodo Glimt is a must win.
Bodo at home. Must win in September. But yeah, look, after United beat Fulham last week, and they thought, turn the corner, go on a run now, all of that. But in Amorim's system, this 3-4-2-1. I think the only place for Kobbie Mainoo is as a 10.
Yeah,
in Amorim's conversations off air about Kobbie Mainoo's future at Man United. And
please leave.
Personally, I can see Amorim going and buy 2 centre midfield players in the summer
that play exactly like Ugarte.
Yeah, 100%. And the way United fans are getting onto Ugarte after today, they were like, Ugarte, he's good in the big games when you need to run around and kick people and be a hat trick
But today
man.
we need football.
Today we need to dominate the ball, and Ugarte is just he doesn't want to pass the ball forward. So, but look, so in this Amorim setup, I think the position for Mainu is a 10.
Yeah.
He played well in midweek. I think Mainu does have a knack for goals and assists. Even some of the goals that we would see him score last season and stuff, I think he does at the Wolves goal, the Liverpool goal. And he doesn't have to be a sole 10 in that system. But why, for the life of me, I just cannot understand why after he's dropped a 9 out of 10 there, Amorim says, false time
changed
today.
him. I like
Hoyland's
this
actually on the bench.
but don't like this against Amorim, and I will be like flip-floppy, wishy-washy on this going forward. I like how Amorim changes his lineup consistently because of the message that it shows to the players. Like,
do you think the Hoyland Xerxes on the bench was a message to the board?
To the board, 100%. To Hoyland and Xerxes.
Like, I don't have a striker.
Yeah, to Hoyland, as you say, like, why would you do that? Why would you just... Kobe's probably played one of his best games for United. Not best games for United, but this season.
Yeah.
You know, in the 10, you have 2 strikers on the bench.
Yeah.
Why would you, you know...
Yeah.
So I like the fact that he does this. Even the message that it sends to Hoyland and Xerxes, bro, be looking for other clubs. If I have a chance to replace you, to change you, if I think any sort of tactical tweak is going to make us a better team, trust me, you guys are the first casualties on the team sheet. I'm dropping both of you.
Yeah,
I've already kicked Rashford out the door, so it's not even like I'm dropping Hoyland and Xerxes for Rashford like match day 1.
Yeah.
I'm dropping Hoyland and Xerxes for anybody that can run around a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but then obviously I do think that the reason Man United are probably so up and down or have so many losses is because Amorim has not found a settled side.
Yeah, he's changing it
at all.
Yeah.
So it's 50-50. I like the message that I don't think Hoyland should be feeling comfortable as Man United's number 9. I don't think Xerxes should be feeling as if like, oh, I'm doing a good enough job to keep my team, you know, my position in the team here. But then again, through the constant change, you might also lose people like Kobe. Kobe's probably been thinking for the last couple of weeks, where do I really fit in this system? I'm not really one of the deeper midfielders because of all the running that I have to do and what they need me on the ball. And now Kobe's moved into the 10 position and had a good game, and now he's been moved again.
Yeah.
So, you know, Kobe's probably...
Like, from the player perspective, how do you find consistency?
How does Kobe find consistency? Is Kobe thinking, is there a place for me in this team? Or, you know, does this manager always just see me as a guy to plug holes? A guy to plug holes when there's a hole in the team type stuff. And I also, to your point earlier about, you know, the 3-5-2 working for someone, I just think that is also such a damning thing. Because I rate Glasner. I think he's all right. I say rate him. I think he's all right. Yeah. But I also don't think Glasner's one of those managers where at home you should really be getting tactically outclassed. Yeah. If you lose to a Glasner team at home because Mateta or Eze is, you know, Eze just picked one up from 25 yards.
They were saying Eze came off the bench and looked like Haka. Old Trafford.
Like, but if Eze's picked one off the bench, picked one up from 25 yards, glided past a couple guys, bent into the bottom corner, and there's a Mateta little bit of jing bang and you lose on that, rather than like my 3-5-2 is better than your 3-5-2.
Yeah. My patterns of play are
exactly
because
I don't like Crystal Palace are all right. They're not a bad team,
and also Glasner's pieces, are they better than Amorim's pieces?
Kamada's back in.
Like, whatever you want to say about this United, and you've been very harsh on this United squad, Glasner's pieces really better.
We've seen Kamada like Kamada's an alright player, but I actually don't know if he's a better 10 than Kobe. Kamada's been so up and down this season.
He's definitely not a better 10 than Kobe.
So you feel me? So it's like, and Glasner has really wanted this signing to work, bro. And it's not really.
And Ugarte or Bruno or Hughes and Lama.
I saw it wasn't Chris Richards. Who's the other? It was like Lacroix or something. Who's hit the post for the first goal.
Lacroix.
Like, he's got a free header in the box, man. I think this is such a damning loss, and
on Lenny Yoro.
I'm so happy this loss happened because of how Man United scammed the win last week. They shouldn't have won last week. So it's like Prem is sort of auto-correcting itself. Prem is giving us the results that we need. Man United shouldn't be able to scam 2 wins in a row. I'd rather them scam a win away from home and feel terrible about getting outplayed by a Glasner team at home. You know, if that's how it has to be. There's got to be big changes at Man United, man.
And look, Amorim, he's not doing... I'm not saying sack him or he's not the guy or whatever. You need to give him at least like the summer
season.
transfer window, right? To get in some of his players and see what he wants to do. But he's not doing enough right now.
No,
he's not good enough.
He's not doing enough right now. And equally, man, the squad is better, as you've been saying, than where they are currently placed in the table. So he's got to do more. At like 13 or 14 points from 13 games is for Man United.
Like United fans can't believe Dalot and Mazraoui are still playing as wing backs. They can't believe it.
It's crazy. But I just think that the situation at Man United is actually at a stalemate. Like, yes, players need to get out. Yes, club needs to sign new players. Yes, manager needs to do more. But the way things are right now, it's like they haven't had enough time in Jan, it seems like, to shift as many players as they want or to bring as many players in as they want. So you can't get rid of Amorim until that happens. But Amorim is also not doing enough with the current squad as it stands.
Yeah.
So it's just such a tricky cycle of like, nothing's really improving. Things are stagnant, if not getting worse. And we can't really improve it until either we have a summer window or, you know, there's massive changes in management or the squad or Ineos or whatever it is, you know. So I don't feel for United fans. I really don't feel for United fans, but the situation they're in right now is so... I mean, they're 13th, 14th, and we're in Feb.
They're still above Tottenham.
It's so bleak. And I don't think that will last long.
Well, they play each other next, innit?
I think Tottenham have had a better Jan window than United.
Well, look, perfect segue. We'll do MVPs and rookies. My MVP, Daniel Levy. MVP. Yeah, I'm here to support you, Daniel. Yeah, I've had enough of these Tottenham fans
saying that ungrateful.
Michael coming
is that what you're saying?
Here saying that Daniel Levy doesn't do enough and he doesn't get the purse strings out. And this January transfer window, Arsenal struggled to sign a single player.
Haven't signed anyone.
Manchester United,
Liverpool
struggled to sign a single player. Chelsea struggled to sign a single player. They're bringing back Datro. Right, Liverpool haven't signed a single player. Newcastle haven't signed a single player. Got rid of Almiron. Daniel Levy has brought in
Danso,
3 players.
Kinski, Danso, and Tel. Key positions, you'd say.
Right, new positions they needed.
New spine.
Not only that, Daniel Levy dropped 70 million for Mark Gahey.
Yeah.
He said, "Here, you accusing me of not spending money. You're accusing me of not backing my manager. Here's 70 million. 100% they should have taken that. But for all the abuse that Daniel Levy gets, Michael's been onto you. Michael, other Michael has been onto you in the group chat. You built Mateta. Everyone's saying, no, Mateta is just a loan. He's using
in time to play for Liverpool. I really thought the game was today, so Tel would be on the bench or whatever it was. Tel would be in the stands. But
Daniel Levy's worked in an option to buy in the Mateta deal. So, look, man, I think Tottenham fans, you need to start showing some respect.
No, Levy has pulled, and you know what? Levy's so funny because this is what Levy does. Levy pulls just enough out of the hat to keep real agitated fans at bay. Anybody who was 50-50 on Levy before is now thinking, well, we'll see what Tel does, and we'll see what Danso does, and Kinski, he's been all right. Just get the clean sheet.
Players coming back.
Maybe things can change.
We've seen Levy go and put money down for Tomori, and that hasn't quite worked. We've seen Levy go and put money for Gahey. And
I know Tottenham fans are convincing themselves in the summer, Gahey will be more willing, Crystal Palace will be more, accepting of offers once the season pans out. So,
Daniel Levy, MVP.
Levy's a deserved MVP because he's just done enough. I actually wrote down some MVPs and rookies.
I had Arteta, Ethan Miles.
The Arsenal ones are pretty sort of
Chris
easy.
Wood for the hat trick, and I had Anthony.
Oh, for the man of the match.
He got man of the match on his debut for Real Betis. He escaped the graveyard that is Man United, and he went and got man of the match in his first game.
I got Beto and David Moyes.
Yep.
On my MVPs. Nice. Shout out Beto.
Yeah.
Speak down on your name.
I need this heater to keep going.
Yes, yeah. David Moyes, obviously 3 wins in a row for Everton is crazy.
Yeah.
I've got Marco Silva /Muniz /Jimenez, and that's all one. Marco Silva for the Muniz Jimenez. I'm just always gonna get this right. I'm just gonna make
Lowry.
Yeah. I got Cunha because of the good goal, and I just think in general signing the contract and beating
Villa.
Beating Villa was was pretty big for Wolves. Obviously, the points on the board, but even just knowing that, I think with Cunha they might have just enough to stay up.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it means they
got
won't
the
go
release
down.
clause in his contract that he wanted. So
I got Nuno Espirito Santo for a 7-0
Yep.
win, and I've got Jean-Philippe Mateta for a brace at OT.
yep,
Because
nice.
Jean-Philippe,
Yep.
I really love Jean-Philippe's, like, everything about him. Like the goals that he scores, his celebration, the boom, the corner flag stuff. I just feel like I'm not even like, oh, I need Jean-Philippe to sign for Arsenal. It's not I love him that much. Yeah. But I just respect that he is a throwback type of striker.
Yeah.
And that, like, when you're wondering, like, he's ruined Tottenham's day, he's ruined Man United. You know what I'm saying? When you're asking for a guy to come
Scored
and
against Chelsea.
yeah, when you're asking for a guy to come and do you a favor, and you see JP.
It's horrible when it's against you.
It's-
It's the worst. It's actually the worst. That boom, boom, boom keeps the corner
Give you when he
flag.
not just give
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Come on, man. Come on. But yeah, look, rookies. Firstly,
Nico Harrison. Nico Harris is the first name on my list as well.
First rookie, right? Luka Doncic. For those of you who don't know, yeah, I don't even know how to put this into football terms, but it is the most insane trade probably in NBA, history.
For sure.
Luka Doncic, who's one of the best players in the league.
Mm.
He's the franchise player at the Dallas
perennial
Mavericks.
all-star, as Americans love to say.
Yeah.
He's a perennial all-star.
It's funny when they're all talking, they ask other players about the Luka move, and they all kind of like, they refer to Luka as when you've made 7-time All NBA first team all-star, and they throw out these stats. But yeah, look, Luka, he's franchise player at Dallas, just made it to the finals last year, lost to Boston, probably trying to get back to the finals again this year. And the way it works in NBA, which I still just can't believe,
No player power.
the players do not have a say. Luka's happy in Dallas. Luka doesn't want to leave Dallas. Luka probably wants to spend the rest of his career in Dallas. And one day the GM, this Nico Harrison guy, just tells him, no, you're done.
So I was hearing they were saying that, like, obviously for a while it used to be like that, very rigid, very just like, you're getting traded. And then LeBron kind of messed things up. LeBron introduced player power. I want out.
Taking my talents to South
Beach. And then it was like, there was a couple of years where LeBron was shipping around, KD was shipping around, and there was this whole sort of player power thing. Harden was moving around.
Yeah.
And they're saying now that with the Luka trade, this is the GMs and the league getting back together to say, we're in control.
Yeah.
We're not accepting your player power stuff anymore.
Yeah.
That's a separate conversation for another day. I've got Nico Harrison in my rookies of the week just because, I mean, obviously winning an NBA chip is everything. If you're a GM and you win the NBA chip, you're golden, you're certified. But I feel as if Luka is more than even just an NBA star. Like, he's like a sporting superstar.
Yeah.
You can not really know basketball that much and heard the name Luka Doncic. He has a day in Dallas. There's Luka Doncic Day in Dallas.
Yeah.
So he's gotten rid of like, bro, a fabric of the city. Everything. He's come in and made such a ballsy move. It could pay off for him. I do think the Mavs have a very good team now with AD.
Yeah.
But I still think, regardless of all of that, like, almost the city has lost 200 million revenue immediately. Because Luka's no longer in town. So he's going to be my rookie of the day for that. And he set up the Lakers, bro. It's like, if you send Luka to a terrible organization and grab AD or you grab someone else and it's like, oh, we're challengers, but you've just set up the biggest franchise in the NBA for another 10 years. And you want to convince us that you've won the deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the only way to convince us is
to win the chip.
I've got Chelsea Football Club. Now, some of Chelsea's transfer dealings in this January transfer window is just, you deserve rookie. The whole football club.
I love the specification. Not for Strasbourg. For Strasbourg.
Yeah.
In a year's time, he'll be playing a couple months at Chelsea.
This signing is not for Strasbourg. It is for Chelsea. That should never, I never want to see that in an Arsenal.
And then they come out and they say he'll spend 3 months at Chelsea and then next season they'll loan him to Strasbourg. That's already confirmed. Like,
they called back Trevor Chalobah, who was sat on the bench yesterday for Tosin to come in, and they've sent the Zassi to Aston Villa, who are direct rivals for top 4 with Chelsea.
I need Villa to pip them.
Omar messaged me yesterday. He could not believe the João Felix thing.
It's gone.
Right.
60 mil in the summer.
We've spent that on João Felix. 6 months later, we're loaning him to Sevilla.
It's not even that, bro. You forced out Conor Gallagher like a dog. We just spoke about Conor Gallagher. You've chased him out like a dog. Like Conor Gallagher is a leper. Like he's got rabies or something that he should be nowhere near. Cancel his training.
Well, Chalobah's the worst one.
Chalobah is the worst one because of how they've brought him back.
Stripped him of his shirt
number. Stripped him of his shirt number and everything. But remember Gallagher, they won't even let him train. Gallagher's in a hotel in Spain.
Madrid,
he doesn't know what's going on.
That Omarodion deal.
And they're saying, don't worry, this deal is happening, this deal is happening. And this is to get Felix, who you think has to be an integral part of the plan.
Yeah.
Felix gets no minutes. Felix is not really, he's a bit part time. And now Felix needs to go on loan. And as I say, the worst thing about these Chelsea guys is Felix should make a permanent move to AC Milan.
Yeah.
But he's on a 7, 8, 9-year deal.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of loans. Yeah. Look, Chelsea's business has been terrible. But yeah, my last rookie I've got Izzy, unfortunately.
Adesanya.
Yeah. I like Israel Adesanya. I think he's been one of the coldest fighters that I've personally seen and watched. But that performance on Saturday, I just couldn't really stomach it. I was like, Izzy, come on, man.
No, he's done. He's done.
Stop now. Just stop now.
Done. Marvel rookies, I had Herzlaf, obviously, for a 7-0. I had Muric.
Yeah.
Muric.
Did you see his mistake?
Is terrible.
Yeah.
Muric is just a liability at any time. I had Amorim, obviously, for the 2-0 loss. We've been over that. And I've had Pep, because Pep still...
Yeah, Pep deserves it, to be fair.
Pep still shouldn't be losing like this.
Yeah, 5-1. Well, look, thank you guys for listening. Look, please subscribe, comment, let us know your thoughts, how you felt about the Arsenal game on the weekend, how you feel about the title race. The transfer window is over. Arsenal have not signed a single player, so we might delve into that a bit more next week.
Yeah, it's worth a talk.
And see what that means, but we've been going for a while here. So yeah, look, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you next week. Peace.